Okay, so this is part two of the faceline tutorial in Illustrator. In this, I'm going to show you how to create some strong outlines around the entire drawing, and also how to sort of create fill areas within the drawing as well. I think in the previous drawing I was supposed to speak about line stroke thickness, and I'll do that here. As you can see, I'm looking at the same file that I was working on before. I've returned the eye part of the drawing back to a black stroke. This is what I mean by black stroke. But what I've also done is I've also saved this as a copy, and you'll see this is titled as JPEG B, and I've got a JPEG C file here. There's a duplicate. So what I've done is kept my original drawing, but then in the duplicate that I've made here, I've begun to work on the lines to create the sort of general silhouette outline. So what you'll see here is when I turn off the layers, I've got the sort of face content here. I've got my eyes here on these layers. And then what I've done is I have, let's see here, I'll turn that off, I think. Yeah. I have, that's what I'm looking at here. Let's see here. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So what I've done is I've joined all the lines of the face around the exterior to make one silhouette stroke. So if you'll see here, I've got this one showing. I'll turn off the unlock it, and I'll click on this, and you can see that this is one continuous stroke. This is critical because in a line drawing, you really want to be able to have a silhouette line around that, so you can make that a little bit thicker so that the drawing can actually stand out within a general composition. So because my whole drawing is situated in the same location as this drawing in the space, what I can do now is I can take this continuous line, and what I will then do is I will go to copy, or I can go Apple C and copy that. Then I can come back here, and then I can go to edit. I'll create a new layer first of all. I'll lock all these layers, and I will hit edit, and I'll paste in place. This is critical, paste in place. So pasting in place will actually put that and maintain the registration of that line on top of the other line. And I'll go Command Z just to show you what happens if you don't do this. If you go edit and just go paste, it doesn't register. You don't want to try to line this up with the existing drawing. It would take too much time. There's no need to do that. So you would just go edit, paste in place. And so there it is. So what I've already done this already, so I'm going to go ahead and just delete this, and I'm going to go ahead and turn on that layer here. You can see that I have that outline, and I'll just show you the entire drawing. So what I'm able to do now is I'm able to unlock that layer, and I'm able to go select all. So I can go select all, and because everything else is locked, just that is highlighted, and this is a very quick way just to select what you want. And now what I can then do is go up here, and I can change the thickness of this. So this is 0.7. I can then change that to 1 millimeter and deselect by just clicking on this, and you can see how that line starts to really create this sort of wonderful contrast from all the other lines, and actually allows that whole drawing to sort of pop off the page more. And so I'll go Command Z, and you'll see what happens when we don't even have that. Let's just see, and you can see the drawing wasn't complete yet. So I've joined all the lines to make this complete, and this is again, select all, and then you can also play with different thicknesses, and you can see how much that starts to really create some wonderful contrast. Obviously, once you have a continuous line, you also have the ability to put fill on here. So right now this means no fill, and what I can do now is I can add color to this. I could change this to I'll put a black there. I'll select this. I think I've got to select that, and then I will I will double click on that and let's pick a color, and you'll see now I've got a wonderful red sort of line on top of that. Now the reason why we've got to talk a little bit about layers. The reason why we can see all the artwork, all the other lines on top of that, is because this layer is underneath. If I move that layer on top, that's going to create a mask over that. Now I could have that on top, and what I can do is I can select that, and then I can go to Window, and I can go to, sorry about this, you can't see it here. Let me see if I can bring up my palette window here. But we go to Transparency. I can't show you here. I wish I could bring my palette window, but there's so Symbols, Transform, and Transparency. Transparency comes up, and then what I can then do is, and then what I can do is I can go to Multiply, and then that creates a kind of opacity to that, which allows the artwork. So play with these. These are actually really cool to play with in terms of multiple layers and so forth. So I'll just go back to normal, and I will collapse that palette, and then I'll bring that outline underneath and have that there. I will double click on this, and I can take out the fill, so there's no fill at all, and just have that in outline. Same thing goes with the ear. If you want, you can then have certain areas of the body of your face selected up as a group. What I did in my other drawing is I took the existing drawing, and then what I did was I joined just those lines there to create that that area. And because I've used the existing lines, because if I hide that, you'll see that now that's missing. So what I want to be able to do is I want to have I'll go back to the original drawing, and what I want to do is I want to be able to have more control over this. So I will make an existing silhouette, existing outline of that part of the face and any other part of the face that will then allow me to have some control. So I have that. I'll turn on my complete silhouette outline, and then what I'll do is I'll turn on my ear fill. I'll lock that. I'll leave the ear fill unlocked. I'll select the ear, and then what I can then do is I can give that a new color and hit that, and so now I'm able to then create a bit of a fill. And of course I can go into effects, and I can see what I can do to kind of create something different within that. Sometimes it's a little easier if I have some other colors in here. Maybe that's not the best effect. I'm going to hit cancel. Nevertheless, you can go in there and just explore. So this covers stroke thickness. Also, if you want to play with stroke line, we can just quickly look. I'm going to go Command Z, which then returns that to a no fill. There's no color there. Maybe I want to make the outline dashed. I can actually do that. So I'll hide everything else, and we can just have a look at this outline. Because everything else is locked or that's turned on, turn that off, lock that. And I can again unlock that and then hit Command A, select all. I can then go Window, and I can go to Stroke, and that gives me the palette. I can now start to play with dash lines. So I hit dash lines, and then I can play with let's go one gap. Oops, select all, and I can hit. Let's see. Maybe I need to go. Gap is, let's make the gap more, 3, and you can see there that I start to get a dash line around that as well. So select all, and we can play with different types of select all, and I can make this even more space, 10 millimeter, and then that really spaces that out as well. So you can play with those strokes, those stroke features, and play with all these sort of caps and corners, and sort of see what the different effects are when you play with the lines. All right, that ends this second part of the tutorial. Have fun and enjoy. Thank you.